What's good, YouTube? Lethal Mindset back in the building. You see my team on the stream. But today's video, I want to jump in what 2K can do to help the community come back together like it did back in the early days. Alright, so as you can see from the thumbnail, I'm going to talk about park wreck and all these different things. But take a look at this team right here. This team doesn't matter. You look at their overalls and all that, doesn't really matter. I'm fine with this team playing together. Why? They have pretty much the same ratings and pretty much the same skill level based upon the tag that they have. They mostly have black tags. So if you have a brown or black tag, I'm fine with that group playing together. Now, imagine you being like a level 40, 99 overall purple tag, and you just want to casually go into the park or go into the rec and play. Which team do you think you're more likely to get on? That first team that I just showed, or a team like mine, as you see my team walking to the rec? My team is fully loaded, purple tags across the board, 99 across the board, all that, the works. Which team you think you're more likely to get on? Obviously, we're a team that know each other. You're going to be on the first team, and then you're going to be with a team that won't pass you the ball even though you're the best player. They're not going to try to run any type of system. They just out there doing whatever. You're going to have some people trolling, all that. Should you really be penalized for other people playing bad when that's not a true representation of you? Alright, so as this gameplay begins to roll in the background, what I'm pretty much talking about is back in NBA 2K 14, 15, 16, right? When we first started, it's like when PS4 just became a thing. People played in the parks, people played in the rec, and it was no problem. It was some of the best basketball from a video game standpoint you could ever play. Why? People didn't care about records. Now, I know what y'all want to say. People don't care about record now, so that is an absolute lie. And I can explain it to you that's a lie. So if you're a 99 overall in the park, right, and a 60 overall actually join your squad, or a 60 overall is sitting on the squad spot waiting to play next, are you going to play with them? Nah, you're not going to play with them a little bit. Why? Simple. It's a better chance that you're going to lose playing with them than to play with somebody you know or somebody with a higher overall. That's obvious. But the thing is, if the records didn't show, if win percentages didn't show, would you still not play with the 60 overall? I guarantee you a lot more people will play with people like they did back in the early days if win percentage and records didn't show up. I'm fine if they just have some type of system that shows how good you are. That way I'm not penalized for playing with randoms. The game should be fun to the point where people are trying to play with more people as much as possible. That's how you make the people play on the game more and more. People create more builds, all different things like that. Basically what I'm getting at is that if you ever watched Agent Zero say this for years, then this is what he's talking about. Ranked and unranked gameplay. Ranked and unranked. Unranked should not have a record of how good or bad you are. Alright? It should not be a win percentage of how good you are existing. It's just casual play. It's like if I was going to go play at a random park in real life and just play basketball, my record wouldn't really matter. You know, but if I play in a league, a tournament, or something like that, record should matter. Because you're competing for an ultimate goal. In the park and the rec, you're not competing for any type of goal. And it's fine if you're ranked in the sense of they have a ranking system to say who's the best player, whatever number you are out of however many people that's playing. That's great. I'm fine with that 100%. I just don't want it to be a record or win percentage attached to it. If I go in the park and play and none of my teammates are on, I still would like to get on and play and have a decent experience. That's not going to happen if I get on and everybody's trolling and I'm getting penalized for it. It's not that people troll is the problem. Hell, we hop in the rec. Most of the time we hop in the rec, everybody's quitting by the first and second quarter. Right? And there's no penalty behind them quitting. Right? They might give a warning of saying you might be banned for a week. For most people, they're frustrated enough with the game, they'll take that week off. Period. But it shouldn't cost them. So if I'm just a random player walking into the rec, all I want to see happen is me hop on, play. You know, based off my position, I should be able to get on the mic, talk to dudes, and be like, "Yo, they doing this. We got to be able to do that." You know, actually, I'm a good enough player to where I can get on and be like, "Yo, they are a team that we're going against. This is the defense they run. Let's do this, and this will stop them from doing what they're doing." You know, I'm a good enough player to do that, especially if the team isn't really all that good. What sucks about playing with randoms is everybody plays as individual. It's not like how, like when 14, 15, 16 was there. Oh, people was actually out there trying to win. It wasn't all this trolling. You didn't see some point guard running around just throwing up threes for the fuck of it. The ball moved. And everybody had a good time playing. That's why the game grew as popular as it did. More and more people wanted to play because the fun of playing with new people and different builds and different game styles across the world. And now 2K has gotten so competitive because of records being shown up. Like, what's the biggest thing? Like, if I'm going to argue with you, the first thing I'm going to look at is your win percentage. If your win percentage is trash, I know you're just talking out of frustration because you can't find good teammates. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to help you get better at the game. And to combat those different things and those different feelings that you have about yourself, you take it out on everybody else. You call everybody else trash. You say the game is trash. You say the build that you have is trash. And in retrospect, it's not true. All right? For the most part, it's just become a thing now where we just say 2K is bad. Or even some of your favorite games, mainly sports games, though, we always say is bad. And it's really bad when you losing. But, you know, some animations we might not like or anything, we might just say the game is bad, just out of habit. It's not really how we feel about it, but it's just out of habit at this point. And that's because that's what 2K has done. Alright, now, when we look at the top YouTubers and stuff, we can't wait to see them lose a game. Why? Because majority of the people that are playing are not that good at the game. If you just walk into any park randomly, just any random park, just start looking at win percentages, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not too many. There is not a lot of good players that are just constantly playing these games all the time. You know, for me to get in the park, like this year, I have an 88 win percentage in the park, like throughout the entire year. And to be honest with you, the only reason why I even dropped from 90 was trying to play with other people that don't really play park. You know, playing with a few of my teammates here and there, and they don't really play that mode, or they was adjusting to the way that I like to play. So you take a few losses in between there. But if I wanted to, me and RDA Chalk could play 2v2 all year and have a 90-something win percentage. Easy. Because we know how each other play. We know how we're going to play defense. We got each other's back through and through. But as a casual player, if Rec and Park are supposed to be casual modes, you cannot penalize people for just playing those modes. Like, they're not playing for a win percentage or to say that they're good at the game. They're playing legitimately because they like the game. Now, on the flip side of that, in Stage, in Comp 3v3 Pro-Am, and then the Pro-Am 5v5, that's where records should show up. That's the only time it really matters. Like in the rec, it's supposed to be designed for you to play with randoms. But in this mode, you get to pick your actual 5 and you go in and play. So it should count against your record. That's why you play those particular modes, to see where you stack up against the other teams in the world. So, like I said, in the Stage, if you play, I don't care what it is, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, if you're in the Stage playing, that should count against your record. All right, that's where I want to see win percentages and stuff at, because it's a more competitive mode of playing. Comp 3v3 Pro-Am and 5v5 Pro-Am. That's where I want to see your record. How good is your team? You know, you put this team together, you trust your teammates and stuff, and you think that you're combination players is better than any other combination of players in the world, let's see how you stack up then. Now, you can see here, we're going against a team. I don't want to read what their those things say in the back. You can if you can kind of read them, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you can read what's behind like the backboard and stuff, like what's in black, this team is clearly a team that's trolling, right? Now you look at the record, like of course we're 0-1. That we're not really 0-1. We loaded into a game, the game cut out, we took the loss for it. That is what it is. But this was our first game during the season. Now my team has ranked pretty high throughout other seasons and stuff, which I will show later in the video. But this is what I'm saying. This team is clearly not as good as we are, but they still came in here with 5 people that they felt like could compete against any other 5 in the world. So yes, this should count against their record. And consequently, that's what's going on now. They're going against a team that's just way better. More than likely, we have just way more experience playing this particular mode than they do. And it's just showing up in the score based off how well we're getting out, how quickly we're getting open shots, what we're doing defensively to disrupt them. Right? And it's a beautiful thing. Like, you want to be able to compete against the other top teams in the world, no matter what mode you're playing, in a mode that's designed to be competitive. I do not believe Park and Rec was designed to be competitive, because if so, they would not make it to where you can play with random people. It's a reason why in the other modes, like playing with randoms is way harder to win with. You don't just walk into the stage and play with anybody. You don't. You walk into the stage to play with people that you trust to help you get the win. Or if you feel like you created something glitchy enough and you just want to play one-on-one, well, one-on-one is a different game than 2v2, 3v3, things like that. You walk in there with the confidence knowing that the player that you created would combat anything that you have to go up against for one reason or another. If you're a guard, let's say you have to go against the post scorers, we know how dangerous they are in the beginning of the game before people get their badges. You understand that, yes, they're tough to stop, but if you get the ball, your ability to dribble, shoot, get to the rim, use your speed against that big man is what's going to carry you to victory. You know, same thing here in 5v5. I trust that the builds that we chose to create as a team is going to combat anything that we have to go up against, no matter what the team does to try to win. You know, a lot of teams have a lot of similarities. You find out who like some really, really good players are, and that's just the way the game is go. So, in my opinion, if you separate casual, if you take out win percentage and records from the park and not Pro-Am, but rec, and you just keep them in Pro-Am gameplay and stage gameplay, the community will naturally come together and be more positive, right? Because now you have an influx of people that just playing. Like, if I'm looking for a teammate in the rec and I go against this team, of course we probably gonna win because I'm playing with some people I know. But let's say I see somebody on the other side that's playing well. After the game is over, if I can go look at his player card and see that he wins like 30-some% of the time, that might not be a true testament to how good the player is, right? But if I see that, I'm not even going to waste my time to try to like coach him up and get him to play for my team. That's not fair to him, but that's just the way the reality of how 2K works now. You know, if I don't see something drastic, I should only be able to judge you from your gameplay as opposed to what this record says about you. And that's just not the case with the current state of NBA 2K. But as this game is coming to an end, I can't believe I hit a 3-ball. I have no 3-ball with this build, by the way. That 2K ain't gonna never fix that. I just give up at this point. But as we come to the end of this, my team had a really good year in the Pro-Am, so I just want to kind of recap. So this is just the highest ranking we had, ranking 11 in Season 5. The Outcasts, we never beat them this year. I don't think. We might have beat them once, but I know they handled us pretty well. Rich Hoopers, that was the #1 team at one point. We got the better of them this year. Great series. This North Carolina team, never beat them this year. Salty about that. Look at 2K Armory. We whooped their ass time after time this year. 12 a.m. was the best team all year on the PlayStation side. We had a great game against them. It's on the channel. No Return is our sworn enemy, led by Ox Eric Trend. And then Hard to Guard 33. I just wanted to throw him out there just to let him know that I whooped his ass. But anyway, we had a great year in the Pro-Am, and I'm looking forward to continuing that in NBA 2K24. But as you can see, if they can get this handled, I would love to get back in the park and just play with random people and try to help some people get better at the game, because that's the whole reason why I started YouTube in the first place. But y'all know me, even though I don't mind playing in the park, especially early on in the year, I'm all about the Pro-Am. I will be back in the Pro-Am rocking a suit. Oh, y'all don't believe me? Just stay tuned, man. Sometimes you gotta let it all hang out and let these people know they can't fuck with you. But I will be back in a suit like I never left, ready to ball out in the Pro-Am with my team. But hopefully more people agree with me when this video is released. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, subscribe. There will be more, as NBA 2K24 approaches. It's been Lethal. I love all the support I've been getting. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.